Huh. Fancy seeing you here. You're back in town, huh? Oh, did I not elaborate when I said I was headed this way? I guess it's a little late to tell you now, but I'm in a band. Ta-da! It's not something I talk about. I joined recently, but figured it wasn't relevant enough to you to bother you at the time. But I guess now I could ask if you enjoyed the show? I certainly enjoyed playing for you. Watching you in the crowd, I swear I played better this time than I did any time before. I wasn't expecting familiar company, and the surprise shot my heart right into the air. Thank you for that. What brought you here anyway? I know Venti mentioned knowing you at a time or two, but by the sounds of it, the two of you aren't very close? Not close enough for him to invite you, knowing you're busy anyway. I thought I saw you at the last show, but I assumed it was simply a cruel trick of the eye. Looks like I was wrong. But then again, I didn't get to know him too well yet. Maybe he's just as weird as I am. I mean, I'd have invited you if I was a little more outgoing, but you had prior engagements, I thought. Oh? Your prior arrangement was the one to bring you here. Be sure to thank them for me then. If not for them, I wouldn't be having such a great time tonight. Your presence alone is enough to illuminate a pitch-black night sky. Wait, you aren't on a date, are you? Wouldn't that be a juicy piece of gossip? Ah, if I was like the other people around here, news of that would travel fast across the wind. But I'll keep your little secret nice and safe, just between us. Not a date? Oh. What friend brings another to a concert like this without ulterior motives, though? Honestly, that may have been another reason I was reluctant in telling you about this hobby. The music we make is by no means inappropriate, but the vibe? Well, imagine if I asked you to come listen to something like this out of the blue. You'd be pretty suspicious of me, right? No, again? I thought we left our fling back in school, but if that's something you're looking for... I'm joking. No need to get so tight over that. Loosen up a little. The show ended hours ago. Have a few drinks or something. What? Of course I've been drinking. You know Miss Beto wouldn't let me if I was home, so I do as much as I can when I'm alone. She said she doesn't like the way it disguises my innocence around her. She means well, but I'd like to let go sometimes. She already stopped me from testing wild mushrooms, so Yeah, I'll stop. But you know how important relaxation is when you've had so many stressors in life, even if that stress eventually turns into one of the best things to happen to you. Like, never in a million years did I see myself going to grad school in Liyue and meeting someone as wonderful as you, and then dropping out shortly after. I think that was the reason I went in the first place, though. Some things are just meant to be, you know? I had no real interest in school, but I needed something to fill the void. Guess what I needed wasn't school itself, because after meeting you, all desire to attend flew out of the window. At first, I felt pretty bad about it, but Beto taught me an important lesson then. Sometimes what you think is the answer is just a part of the problem. I learned that day to let solutions find me, and follow the things that fall into my lap. I have lived pretty comfortably that way. Besides, that was around the time I got an invitation to join this little music group. At first, I denied. Didn't think I was good enough to work with people so talented. But music is like blade work. It takes time and practice, but eventually, you'll come up with a style of your own. So even though I didn't join right away, it behooved me to put in some work. And, I wrote a few songs for you then too. Was way too embarrassed to show you, though. Guess that was just another way you motivated me. Eventually, I revisited the invitation and reached out myself. It was a while after you moved out of the city to follow your dreams. I was really bitter then. That was when I cut contact, actually. That one's on me. I didn't know how to process my emotions, so I didn't. Feeling abandoned does a lot to a person, you know? But you're back, and we get along just as well as we did before. Well, maybe not just as well, but close enough. I doubt your not date would like it much if we got along any more than this. While some believe that certain things aren't meant to be, I consider myself an opportunist. If given the chance, I'd happily take you right into my loving arms and profusely apologize for what I did to you. That is, if I even hurt you at all. You seemed to fine when we spoke again for the first time. In fact, you approached me. I was shocked. The other guys at home thought I'd done irreparable damage. And maybe that's just another thing to love about you. You're so forgiving, enough for Beto to consider it criminal. She even offered to help me pick out flowers for my apology when I told her how happy you had been to see me. But I know I'm too late. It was a huge blow to the heart, watching you be all right without me. Even if my intention wasn't to hurt you, the fact that you didn't seem to mind at all, it put things into perspective. I'm not so sure we're destined to be together, but maybe we're soulmates? A soulmate and a lover are different. Even though a lot of what Venti says comes out after a few drinks, it always makes sense. He doesn't seem to know much about the stars, but he knows a lot about divination. Soulmates, companions tied by fate, in every universe, every timeline, every outcome in every life. I love you, and I'll hope you accept it, in every universe, every timeline, and every life. Doesn't matter to me what you interpret it as, because no matter what you pick, it'll always be true. And that's why I don't believe in things that aren't meant to be. Your life is what you make it, how you see it. And your view on the world? Well, it must be as beautiful as your eyes. I could get lost in them just as easily as I'd get lost in your mind trying to understand you. Sometimes I envy you. You're so strong. Every challenge I've seen to the end with you, you hardly let them shake you. Or we found a way to cope together. Either way, you found a way out. Meanwhile, I'm just stuck. Afraid this rut will remain so long as I feel this way about you. Or maybe it isn't about you. Maybe this is about the hole I thought you filled. I might have been so desperate that I assigned you to the wrong role. Or maybe I assigned you to the right role and misunderstood its purpose. If there's one thing I've learned from you, it's that I have a long time coming. Teaching me more than I have ever learned in a class, that's for certain. I haven't written any music for the band yet. Venti likes to probe the creative mind, joking that he knows what I'd say and how I'd say it. But how could he possibly predict things I have for you? Before I dare write out or perform a song about something so dear to me, I'd like to understand it. Maybe that's what I was supposed to ask you tonight. Will you help me understand you? I want to learn to love you the way that you deserve. Please, agree to teach me? That's enough for tonight then. Really, I don't want to upset the one you've come with, so I'll get out of your hair. And I could use some water. Enjoy the rest of your night.